to week 5. We're jumping into SQL. So hopefully a lot of you have been excited for this, maybe with a little bit of anxiety. We're not gonna get too hard in this. It's gonna be an easy first week intro to this. All right, so this week to prepare for this lecture or accompanying this lecture, however you approach it, is watch chapter 15. They just go through SQL, DDL, basically. Be keeping in mind that and I say this in here, but what they say in the textbook and the exact code in the textbook isn't always necessarily going to work for access. And so the lecture set does have the code that will work. But you'll get the idea from them. Before the class, before I see you, you will have finished quiz 1, data modeling. I will get those graded as quickly as possible and get those back to you. You should also have the project Milestone ready for the class, which is the data model. It's okay if it's still a little hairy and you haven't quite figured it out yet. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Big ideas for the week. We're going to talk about what in the world is SQL in the first place, and specifically what is DDL. And then there's 3 basic big commands that you learn: create, drop, and alter. And then we'll talk about what's due following up from this. Okay, so the project Milestone, pretty easy. We've already talked about the milestones in general, that they're not graded. They're just here to help you out. Like what we did last week or last time, we'll break up into small groups. And I think for this one, because of the complexity of it, I'll actually break you up in pairs. So hopefully you're not paired with somebody that is in your team. And that way you can sit with each other and like walk through, like look at the business rules that you've made and the ERD, and the other person in your group can help point out if there's anything that seemed like flawed logic in there. And so that way you can kind of access your peers' knowledge and then make any corrections before you bring it to me. The ERD by itself, turning it into me won't be super helpful. I kind of do need the business justification, not business justification, the business rules for it, so I know what it's supposed to be doing. And sometimes it's just hard to make those clear. So no guarantees that my checking over will be perfect itself. But at least I can look it over to see if there's anything obvious that needs to be altered. So yeah, so that's what we will plan on doing, and then uploading that into Canvas by Friday midnight, the day after class, just to have me space out my time. Okay, so let's get into this week.